Good rising and great awakening. This is Tchiya Amet El Ma'at with a horoscopes report on July 1st, 2015. And we're just wrapping up a full moon with the Jupiter-Venus convergence that occurred last night. And right now I'm just wanting to get a recording of my experience for the past week or so. So yes, so it all began on Sunday, June 29th at around 2 in the afternoon. I was here in my house at the Mataji Temple trying to complete my Shedi study, Rek Ab, and was getting lots of distractions, and then my house started filling up with smoke. And I thought this was odd. I went outside and I could see lots of smoke, but I couldn't tell where the fire was coming from. And I called a store in town and they said, "What fire?" I dialed 911 and they said, "What fire?" And then they put me in touch with the fire department here in Covelo. And the person that answered the phone told me that I was not in any danger, that the fire was on Cemetery Lane, way across the valley, and no, I didn't need to evacuate. So, I went outside and still there was no fire trucks or no fire right across the street from my house or anything. I saw my neighbor on the phone, probably trying to get information on the fire. So I went back inside and went back to try to, continue with my studies. And then, started getting sleepy, like not like I usually do when it gets hot in the middle of the day and I have to take a nap, but just dizzy. I was watching the video and then I'd pass out and come back and restart it and all this other stuff. And finally I said, well, I think I hear fire, but I need to go lay down. Now that's weird. I thought I heard fire, but my reaction was to go lay down. So I went into my room and a friend of mine had sent me a video of him playing the piano. It was really nice. And I remember just laying down. I had gone to, I knew him from when I was in college. He was my boyfriend, actually, when I was in college. And I said, oh, this is really nice. This is the last thing I'm going to watch on Facebook. I remember having that thought, thinking, I wonder what all that noise is. Sounds like fire. But she said it was across town. And then I went out. That's the last thing I remember. I don't remember what time that was or anything. And then the next thing I know, fortunately I have some house guests that had just gone to the store. They've been gone a long time. I didn't know why they were gone so long, but fortunately they came back. And I reckon their presence, on my property, my home, woke me up. And, it was obvious that the fire had gotten closer. And Juanito went outside. We went outside and the neighbors had let themselves in and attached hoses to my faucets to put out the fire across the street. And fortunately that gate had been opened. It had been wired shut for years. And just like a week ago I had someone come and cut it open. So they wouldn't even have been able to get in easily to put out the fire. And we go outside and Juanito, he immediately hooks up another hose and is putting out the fires. And I'm just standing there, I had just woken up in shock. And the fire was out by then. It was just smoldering. They were just, making sure it didn't come back. But you could see my neighbor's yard had been completely ruined. His garden completely burned. And then behind his property, on the next street, you could see the smoke. And obviously there was fire right there. And people were just, keeping the fire out. There was fire trucks, firemen, neighbors. I'm just standing there still in shock. Helicopters coming by, dropping off water, circling the valley, and then a plane flies over, and this pink stuff comes out of the plane, and it just drops on everything. It drops on me, on my land. It didn't get the people on the street. It didn't get where they were fighting the fire, but it sure got me. I got the dog that was visiting. And then somebody says, we need more hoses. We need more hoses. So I'm covered in pink stuff, right? And we go to the back to get more hoses. And I noticed that a tree in my backyard is smoldering, like you could see the soot and the ashes. Big chunks were landing in my yard, and they had landed on the tree. They had landed in my garden, and there was places that were, smoldering. So of course I kept one of the hoses, and I gave the other hoses to my friend, and neighbors came and got more hoses. And I'm putting out, places, potential fire spots, and my whole garden, my vegetable garden, the peaches, the plums, the blackberries, the grapes, my medicine wheel with the sage and the peppermint and feverfew and lemon balm and rose bushes, everything is covered with this pink stuff. My roof, my ladder, everything. And so, I'm just spraying the whole yard with water and singing and chanting at the top of my lungs. Usually when I'm out in the back doing ceremony, I'm singing really soft because I don't really want my neighbors to hear me. But this time I was chanting so loudly. And I was so grateful that just a few days ago, this water prayer had come to me. This water chant had come to me. And I had been singing it nonstop for 3 days, playing it over and over. I had recorded it on my iPhone. And it's this Kemetic chant it's a water chant. I'll explain that chant in another message. This one's already getting long. And then, I have the rain, the rain chant. I sang that. Agasaga, Galieliga, I sang that before with the music giveaway. And then this new chant came to me. I'm going to sing it now. It came to me. The melody came from a retreat I had been at, an ayahuasca retreat. And it's a blend of two cultures. I know there's some people that say you shouldn't do that, but I'm a blend of two cultures. So how can it be wrong, right? And so here it goes. And I was singing this at the top of my lungs. And all I can say is I became water. And there was this wall of water that was protecting my life and my land and my property, and not letting the fire go farther. It was coming straight for me. It was right, the 2 houses behind the neighbor's yard in front of me are gone. These ashes just flew and landed there. And how did the fire start? Somebody was mowing their lawn with their tractor for hay, for money, in the middle of the day in June. We've been in drought for 3 years, and their tractor hit a rock and created sparks, and that's how the fire started. We're in a drought, and the sparks landed, I guess, in my neighbor's yard and burnt down their houses, and the wind blew the fire into the neighbor across the street from me and completely incinerated his garden. His entire yard is gone. And, with good forces and I guess my prayers to, purify the land from any negative energies. Remember a few weeks ago I had the womb wellness and clearing my space day of our Tchiya Amet day, June 7th. So everything just lined up. But anyway, this video is getting long. Okay. So this is the song that I sang. And I'm so grateful. I'm just really grateful right now. Tefnut, come to me. Tefnut, come to me. Come to me, Tefnut. Tefnut, come to me. Hey, oh, I know, hey. Tefnut, come to me, Tefnut, come to me. Come to me, Tefnut, come to me. Hey, why on the way, hey, on the hey. Tefnut, come to me, Tefnut, come to me. Tefnut, come to me, Tefnut. Tefnut, come to me. Hey, I on the way. Yes, so, that song just came through me, and I just put up this protective wall of water. And then the next day, I looked up Tefnut because I knew she's the goddess of moisture and water. But I also learned that she's a warrior goddess. She's the, funny how my dogs are all barking right now. She's also a female lioness. She's got the head of a lioness. And she's also the goddess of the flame. So not only is she the goddess of water, but she's the goddess of fire. And I have that song, Fire, Water, and in the, in the regular astrology system, I'm a Leo. But in the sidereal system, I'm Cancer, which is Sekhmet and Kepra, transformation. So I'm also a goddess of fire, water. And right now, I just feel like, I learned a lot about the power of my prayer and intention. This is the third experience I've had with fire here at the temple where I was in the fire. I did not get burned. I had an experience last fall where, it was the week of the goddess in another tradition, the Hindu tradition, and I was making my offerings to the goddesses, and my eyes were closed. I was chanting. I was singing that goddess chant, right? And then I'm like, wow, I feel something weird on my leg. And I open my eyes, and my clothes are on fire. My beautiful pink tunic with fringes had caught fire from one of the candles on the table, and my tunic and my beautiful turquoise blue yoga pants were on fire. And all I could do was say, oh my gosh, my beautiful pink tunic is on fire. I better put out the fire. And I didn't feel any heat or fire. I didn't feel anything. And I just, panted the flames out, and the fire went out, and there was no damage, no burns, no soot stains, nothing, and no holes. And the Spirit said, that's my proof, that's my sign that as long as I stay focused, in my case, as long as I stay focused on the goddess, I can be in the fire and not get burned. And so, I want to offer my gratitude again to Tefnut and to the goddess Nebet-Ar, the goddess of the stream, water and the rivers, and to all my ancestors, the goddesses of the water, Yemaja, and Oshun, the goddess of the river, and tonight we have the Leo-Jupiter convergence in Leo, which has to do with love and beauty and harmony and wealth and wisdom and creativity, and all this music that's been coming forth to me during this time, I know it's going to lead to a lot of abundance and prosperity for myself and for everyone who hears my music. And so this message is way longer than I anticipated. So thank you for listening all the way through. And I just needed to record my experiences with the fire and the water. Hatep.